it's the Black White Liberal. I just wanted to come back and say where I was leaving off was saying that, I'm concerned, and I think a lot of people are concerned. You definitely hear Black people, minorities talk about their fears when we see what happened in Texas recently. And that just kind of puts people on edge, and all these videos of people coming out acting aggressively. But I will tell you that there's a lot of people, even just not necessarily people that are wild like that, but just all kind of folks are concerned. Liberals, there are conservatives. Everybody's worried about the language and the possibilities of what can happen. But my prayer is just that we get through this, that we get a new president, that we get on some kind of road to reconciliation, because we know that number one, if Trump were to win, there will be no reconciliation. It will basically just be retribution on anybody who assumes to be his enemy. And half of the country may be okay with that. I'm not a part of that half. And we're just going to see what happens, and we're going to see how we move forward. Did anybody check the stock market today? I was wondering if it went up or down. I've heard that the stock market would respond positively to Joe Biden, but I don't know. So Georgia, Fulton County seems to be making, well, that's just the county. Of course he's winning Fulton County. What's that doing for the state? That's not, that's kind of obvious. Let's see what's going on here. A Democrat in the Senate. One thing I've noticed is when I'm looking at these returns, a lot of these, which is disappointing. I don't know if this is some Jedi mind tricks that the media is trying to do, but I have not been seeing incumbent next to the names of a lot of the people that are running. Oh, well, that says incumbent. Okay, so maybe I just didn't see where it was. So, okay, he won again, but he nearly lost. I think this was the guy who I saw, he wrote a letter about his family's experience with abortion, so I'm not sure. Maybe that helped drive those numbers. Let's see what else is going on. So, yeah, I'm not here for the play-by-play, but just kind of wanted to give an update of where we're at. We are very close. I think the last time when I signed off a few minutes ago, he was at 253. Well, now they're saying 253. I saw something that said 264, but I think that might be if he were to lock down another state. So Georgia has 16 votes. I want you all to think about something, and we can talk about this in a future episode. But when you look at the map of the country and you look at how we're divided, and not just that, but look into the states and see how there are small, densely populated areas that are controlling a lot of land around it. And, one of the things I want to do on the show is kind of challenge you to think beyond just the stuff that's presented to you on the news. Because if you even read a lot of newspapers and watch the news, they write it for an 8th grade education. So there's nothing obviously wrong with that, but I'm just saying if you want to challenge yourself some more, think about the amount of land around some of these counties and how they're, for example, earlier we're looking at a map of Pennsylvania, and there are pockets that are blue, but the overwhelming majority of the map is, oh, look at this. Okay. The overwhelming majority of the, how in the world with all this turnout do people not vote for Warnock? And this must be what they're talking about, because she looks completely confused. I can't remember her name right, Casey. She looks completely baffled right now. And I'm sorry, I had to jump off the track. I apologize. But there is a runoff with Warnock and Loeffler, because neither one of them got 50% of the vote. I think Warnock had 35, Loeffler maybe had 20 something, and they have to do a runoff because they didn't get 50% of the vote. What are you people doing? Clearly you were at the polls. How are you not voting on that election? Like, I'm just blown by that. I'm going to have to turn the TV up and hear what they're saying. Where is my remote? I think I missed it. Now they're talking about Jon Ossoff. Two runoffs. I'm surprised. Are they going to have to do a runoff? Oh, they said this is too close to call. I don't know, but if you can go back to the other people, if they can get 50 and 47%, how come Warnock and Loeffler are less than 50% combined? Maybe that's what they're talking about. Let me see.
And if there's recount presidential, I should amend also what I just said on terms of the Senate majority, because if you do see David Perdue hang on to that 50% plus, where he that means have to have the runoff. Right. Perdue would win outright. He'd go back to the Senate. He's a Republican. Then, unless something really crazy happens in Alaska or someplace that we don't know about yet, it's likely the majority wouldn't be at stake, because with Susan Collins hanging on.
Okay, they're talking about whether Democrats can take back the majority or take the majority. Anyway, I sure wish I could remember where I was, but I'm just so shocked at that piece right there. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about how there are smaller areas in a state that will control the outcome of the state. And I was having a discussion earlier, and the point was made, and it just made me think. You may hear this and completely disagree, but it did make me think about. It was I said, well, these are people; those are densely populated places, and the point was, yeah, but there are people that are controlling these other parts of land, and there are laws and things that affect, that land, either, affect it, make it productive, make it profitable, make it not useful because of zoning or different things. So the idea that it's not just the person, but also what is owned, was a point that was made. And it would be interesting, because I don't know how much of that land is government property, maybe, versus personal property, because that wasn't a part of the discussion. So that's worth looking into. But I would love for you all to think about that. Just challenge yourself, and I'm going to talk about it on my show, but you can just do some research yourself, just think about it yourself. And it might be, I think you have to, it's always good if you can, to be able to like put yourself sometimes in somebody else's shoes. So whether you own property or not, think about, if you did, what that would mean. Oh, here's a good example, right? So I just want you all to take this with you, as this is the last thing I'm going to talk about. There was a video a few months ago where there was a young woman who had given her boyfriend a gift for his birthday. The gift was like a deed to a piece of property. And the way that it was positioned, as far as the video that was put out for public consumption and comment, was, because the boyfriend, when he got the gift, he was like, oh man, I ain't want this, he'd rather have some shoes or something like that, or a watch or something. And people were like, oh my God, he's so ungrateful. How can he say that? This is an opportunity for him to be able to build some generational wealth. And these are the conversations that sometimes happen in the community, the Black community. And so, but then some people were saying, well, when you have land, it's, when you have property, it's a bill. You got to keep it up. You got to, even if you go and you knock everything down, you got to pay the property taxes. If you don't do that, then you got to keep it up. You got to keep the grass cut. Like, it's work. It's a job. And, there's things that affect it. And so they were like, maybe he didn't want that responsibility. Maybe he just rather have a watch. And so for people who said that, they're like, because owning something is, it's responsibility and stuff like that. And there's things that come with that. So when you think about all the land that we may be talking about that's privately owned, people are responsible for that. No, I don't live there. No, I don't have a town of people there, but I'm responsible for that land. This could be an opportunity for me to do something for generations down the line. Or, if the government wants to take it away, or if, whatever kind of thing happens, it could be a burden of some, or not a burden, but I have an invested stake of property beyond where I'm standing or beyond where my home is. I have an invested stake in that, even though it is across town or across the country. So that that's the question. And you may say, that's why are you even asking that question? But I do like to challenge myself with these things because I try to do big picture thinking when I can. Not all the time, it's not always necessary, but sometimes. So that's it. I'm the black white liberal. We're waiting to see what's going on. They're showing Biden at 253 right now. It's about now it's probably 9:30 Eastern on the East Coast. So that's where we stand, getting closer to Arizona, and it's looking like the We Dems are going to be able to pull off a victory. Democrat for now. Signing off.